I had never seen a herd of wild boars that large. They appeared almost every night, pouring into the farm, destroying row after row of crops, tearing apart land that had taken us months to build. At first, I thought a few shots would be enough to drive them away. But I was wrong. Their numbers were too great. And that was when I realized if we kept hunting them the usual way, we would never bring the situation under control. We needed something different. A trap, big enough to stop an entire herd. We began by surveying the whole area. The trails the boars used most often, the low ground, the points they were forced to cross in order to reach the farm. And then an idea appeared. If we could not chase them, then we would let them run into the trap themselves. The very next day, we brought heavy machinery onto the farm. Engines roared across the quiet fields as long sections of earth were carved deep into the ground. We were not digging a single pit. We were building an entire defensive trench system around the farm. Deep ditches curved across the land, like a protective boundary around everything we had built. Everything had to look natural, so those clever wild boars would have nothing to suspect. All that remained was to wait for them to return. After hours of patience, the herd finally appeared and entered the perimeter. We closed the circle at once. The boars erupted into panic. They turned back, searching for escape, but every direction was blocked. The pressure intensified. No choices left. The entire herd suddenly charged toward the open field, exactly where we had planned. I knew what was about to happen. The leaders accelerated, throwing all their strength into one desperate escape. And then, without a single warning sign, one misstep, their heavy bodies dropped straight into the deep trench below. The sound of breaking earth and violent impact echoed in rapid bursts. Those behind could not stop in time. They slammed into one another, slipped, stumbled, and followed them down. In only a few seconds, the entire herd had fallen into the trap we had prepared long before they arrived. when everything slowly became quiet again. I walked to the edge of the trench and looked down below. The whole herd was now completely contained. They were still panicked, packed tightly together, struggling to climb out, but the walls of earth were too steep. Every effort was useless. No one said a word. We simply stood there, watching, because we all understood the hardest part was over. But what came next was what truly mattered. Handling a herd that large is never simple. It takes time, it takes planning, and it has to be done carefully. I looked at my teammates. No one needed to speak. Everyone already knew what had to be done next. But we did not rush, because this time, the prey had nowhere left to run, and the way we handled them next would decide everything.
The fields of Turkey were suddenly under fierce attack by a herd of wild hogs, devastating 2 farms in a row. Thomas's hunting team was hired for 5 days to wipe out these monsters, but this isn't an easy hunt. These wild hogs are cunning, with keen noses that allow them to vanish before hunters and dogs can get close. Thomas had to bring along the most advanced gear to quickly track their trails and cut down the time needed to eliminate them. As the sun just began to rise, the hunt officially kicked off. At 5 a.m., wheels roared as they raced straight to the pre-planned location. Thomas's first stroke of luck came early. From a distance, the silhouette of a wild hog hiding in the tall grass couldn't escape his sharp gaze. Quick footsteps closed in, pistol loaded and ready. With one decisive shot, the beast fell right before Thomas's pistol barrel. The first victory was marked, but Thomas didn't forget the mission. He pressed on toward the designated spot. It didn't take long before Thomas settled into position, waiting for the beast to appear. Just minutes later, a shadow cautiously moved through the underbrush, searching for food. Every motion from chambering the round to squeezing the trigger was executed with precision. The cold crack of the shot rang out just as the beast collapsed. One threat eliminated flawlessly, with no margin for error. After tracking the remaining signs, the baying of hunting dogs echoed, signaling the wild hog's location. Thomas moved swiftly through dense foliage. Ahead was a chaotic scene, not one, but 3 hogs tightly surrounded by the pack of dogs. As one beast charged forward, a rapid volley of shots was unleashed. One by one, they fell, ending the fierce battle and saving the area from the devastation of these wild beasts. After a tough morning, the results were well worth the effort, but Thomas's team wasn't done yet. A strategy meeting took place to plan the afternoon hunt. With seamless coordination, a new formation was set up on the slopes of Anatolia. In no time, a shadow came charging wildly. A rapid series of shots flew out, cutting off its escape route. On the eastern hillside, an unplanned but smooth teamwork unfolded between the hunters and the dogs. The dogs pushed the prey right toward the waiting hunters lying in ambush. Each move seemed almost pre-programmed, but it was all hard-earned experience from countless real hunts. A series of skillful shots rang out, ending another threat to this land. Do you think their teamwork looks tight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As the evening sun faded, the team began packing up to head back to base. Before they could even stow their guns, a target appeared right in Thomas's scope. One cold shot rang out, ending all plans of the lead boar. Another didn't get far before falling to the rifle of a fellow hunter. On the very first day, Thomas's team took down quite a few wild hogs, bringing temporary peace to the farm. But the battle is far from over. The team needs to rest and prepare for the next hunt until the farm is completely free from the devastation caused by these beasts. Behind the beauty of a Texas dawn lies the silent plea of the farmers haunted by the wild boars. These beasts can turn fertile fields into battlegrounds within hours. That's why hunting them isn't just a leisure trip, it's a crucial mission to protect the hard work of an entire community. This morning, our team set out once again with one goal: to restore peace to the fields at the peak of harvest season. The Texas dawn paints the fields with a bittersweet beauty, but today, there's no time to enjoy it. After a quick strategy talk, we split up to stake out the hunting blinds scattered across the spots wild boars frequent. And the wait finally paid off. A wild boar burst from the edge of the forest, heading straight for the community's lush cornfield. Man, was it fast. I pulled the trigger, but the first shot only made it charge even harder. Luckily, I corrected my aim with the third shot. The marauder went down, giving the village back a peaceful harvest season. Looks like today's start is going to be tough. Follow us to see what challenges lie ahead on this hunt. Over the other side of the field, David carefully set his rifle on a steady rest, choosing a perfect vantage point. From a distance, he locked onto his target. No room for error. A sharp shot rang out, sending the prey into eternal sleep without a warning. Thanks to the suppressor, the gunshot sounded like the whisper of death, quiet enough not to disturb the other wildlife. A clean, deadly shot. What do you think of his hunting skills, folks? Over on this side of the field, the action was just as intense. Suddenly, a massive herd of wild boars burst out like a raging flood. Holy smokes, where did they all come from? It's a swarm! Like a busted beehive, a stampede of wild boars tore across the field. I quickly opened fire. The gunshots roared, but only one went down while the rest vanished into the thick woods. One beast down, but the whole herd's still out there. Looks like this battle's far from over. As the sun climbed higher, the boars began retreating from the open fields into the thick brush and forest. Our hunt shifted into a new phase, tracking them down and facing them head on.